Yo yo yo! Welcome guys back to the Musings of Maverick channel. It's your boy Maverick, and today, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2. Yup, we are getting right into it. Before we begin, however, as is tradition for all my first episodes, I like to do a quick introduction to the series and to my channel as well, because even though I'm sure a lot of you guys are here back again because you enjoyed my work on the previous season, I hope there are some new friends as well. So typically, I will structure my videos into 3 different parts. The beginning will be an introduction or a recap, whereas in the middle portion, we will have the blind reactions, where you can sync up your own video alongside with me. And finally, at the very end of the videos, I do a sort of discussion / review session. I call it my musings, where I typically delve into the topics or concepts or various mechanics that are mentioned within the anime, within the episode, right? However, with this series being more on the comedy side, generally there's not that much to discuss, in which case I'll try my best to share various bits and pieces of trivia that I do know about what they were talking within the episode. And they'll all be timestamped below, so you can just jump to whichever part that you please. So, in terms of the introduction, well, I guess this series doesn't really need much introducing, right? I mean, this is the second season, it's the same cast, it's the same studio, the same director, same staff, so not really much has changed there. If any of you guys are interested in that, I already did an introduction in the previous season, so go check that out if you guys like, and you can watch someone who literally has no knowledge about this series at all, you know, how I went into this series and what I was expecting, right? Because I went into it completely blind. I did not read any of the manga chapters. Since then, ever since season 1, you know, I became a fan, right? So I did go on and read the manga, but I only read up to the point where the anime adaptation stopped, because I knew that they were going to make the second season. This is by far my most popular series on my channel, and so I wanted to let you guys have my fresh take on it, right? Completely blind reactions. I think that's the way that's the most fun for all this. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the episode and see if the magic is still there. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Let me quickly refresh my memories. We last left off where, hey, it's D2. Alright. I think it was up to the fireworks episode, right? And also the start of the next semester, something like that. Okay, looks like we are heading right into the episode without an opening. What? Let me guess. Is this Hayasaka? Oh no, never mind. Wait, yeah, it is. Haha. I was thinking whether or not it would be Kaguya, but just looking at her breast, no, it's probably not. Coffee? I gotta say though, Hayasaka is actually my favorite character. At least up to just the point that obviously it has so many chapters. Eek. That's an addiction, dude. Oh. Alright, that ends it. What? Look at her eyes. I love this girl. Hey, she got me. How's she gonna go against Fujiwara? Get him out. I mean, these are small fish. How are you gonna go up against Fujiwara? Oh, yeah. Just like that? Really? Holy shit. Last resort. Exact same position? Yep. Really? I guess. Just that was a that was a pretty weird translation. It's basically saying the student council aren't gods. But they translate it into haven't reached nirvana yet. This is the dude who has a relation with the other girl, right? Yeah, Nagisa. What can you do with toilet paper? You guys went to see fireworks. Okay. You're walking on a very thin line, dude. That's not true.
そこ通してもらえますか？何やってるんですか？あの二人が神ってるかどうか観察して調べてるんです。あの二人そこまで。なんで伝わった？三人に一人。神ってるって何ですか？おそらくこの場では神聖なる行いのことを指してて。恋人つなぎ。これはどうでしょう？いや。恋人つなぎくらいなら初デートでもするだろう。会長、初デートで恋人つなぎするんだ。あれ？チューした？チューしましたよ。これは神じゃないですか？いやまだだ。チューくらい3回目のデートでするだろう。3回目でするんだ。
Really? What just? Really? Well,
なんちゃって。これはだな。ごめんなさい。ちょっといたずらさせていただきました。私たち皆さんの考えているようなことはまだいたしてませんよ。ご安心ください。そうだよな。そんなのまだの。もちろん。いやわかんない。
what?
陽気でワイルドな人が好みって言ったら合わせてくれたんです。素直な人なんですよ。テーブルゲーム部ですごろくを作りました。自作ですか？カードを列に並べ、それをマスに見立ててすごろくするんです。なかなか面白い発想だと思います。名付けてハッピーライフゲーム。みんなでやりましょう。しない。本日の勝敗なし。なんだか嫌な予感しかしませんから。藤原初期が作ったゲームとか絶対まともじゃない。大丈夫ですから。部のみんなで知恵を出し合って作ったゲームですから。まあまあ、せっかく作ったのに誰も遊んでくれないってのは結構悲しいものですよ。石神くん。君って本当はなんだね。ごめんね、今まで正論でディーバイ男とか思ってて。そんなことを思ってたんですか？
Well, that is kind of true.
仕方ないですね。じゃあ1回だけですよ。やったー。すごろく。起源をたどれば古代エジプトまで遡る歴史ある遊戯。藤原たちが作ったゲームはマスこそカードであるが、要はお金を一番稼いだ者が勝ちとなる極めて近代的なすごろくである。
Okay.
からやります。
うん
止まったマスのカードをめくってください。交通事故イベントですね。もう一度サイコロを振って1が出ると。
You die?
はい、石神くん死にました。死ぬとどうなるんですか？何もかもおしまいです。皆さん気をつけてください。これ相当のさて、見せてください。はい。
Oh.
放課後イベントってのが出たが。それは放課後に外で遊ぶか家で勉強するかが選べるイベントです。じゃあ家で勉強。性格が出ますね。そんな会長にはガリ勉カードをあげません。バカにしてんのか？
What's the point of this?
ラッキーマスはラッキーなことが起こるマスですよ。かぐやさんは悪い男に騙されましたが、慰謝料に1000万円踏んだくることに成功しました。全然ラッキーではないんですけど。かぐやさんには男性不信カードをあげます。いらない。めくったマスは取り除かれて後続の人が追いつきやすいようになってるんです。
Mm. Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
私はイベントの中身を考えました。
やっぱし、みんなに申し訳ない気持ち持った方がいいですよ。そしてゲームは進行する。白金はガリベンカード効果で一流大学に進学。かぐやはラッキーマスを多く引き当て、現在所持金トップ。そして子供ゾーンを抜け、大人ゾーンに突入。
I think this is sort of a play on the Jinsei game
さん以外はちゃんとした思考回路してるみたいね。
that the Japanese play. I don't think there's a quite the equivalent in Western. At least that's popular. It's definitely not Monopoly kind of stuff.
ちなみに他のプレイヤーはお祝い金として2人に5万円をあ、現実のお金じゃない。ちなみに夫は子供数かける2000万円を養育費
Completely bankrupt.
人の不幸でそこまで喜ぶかお前。
一番近いところにいるプレイヤーは会長ということは
It's not gonna happen, is it? Not with the way that this series goes.
ちょっと待ってください。篠宮先輩は男性不信カードを所有しているので。
I knew it.
次に近いプレイヤー。藤原先輩と結婚す
uh, yeah.
そして
ゴールです。
ゲーム終了。
というわけでハッピーライフゲームの勝者はかぐやさんです。全然ハッピーな記憶がない。とっても楽しかったですね。またやりましょう。なんでですか。
僕は意外と楽しかったです。そうくん、藤原と結婚したら心が削れる。人にやらせる前にデバッグプレイはきちんとしましょう。現状運ゲー甚だしいので、サイコロの目を一つプールできるなど、回避策を用意する可能性が上がると。
That's funny.
白金さん、この間誕生日だった。
Oh, it's old Kaguya.
誕生日だったか。
忘れてたんですか。
誕生日なんて
Is Shika playing like air rope?
から誕生日に特別感はなく、自分から誕生日をアピールすることもない。誰かが言い出さなければ、白金の誕生日が過ぎていくのは明白。
かぐやさん、悩み事ですか？まあ、悩みといえばそうなりますかね。では、このフォーチュンテラーチカがかぐやさんを占って死んでます。占い？はい。このサイトに性別と誕生日を打ち込むだけで、かぐやさんの抱えている悩みをバッチリくっきり解決しちゃいます。機械だよりじゃない。第一、性別と誕生日だけで何が？誕生日？面白そうですね。ぜひみんなでやりましょう。
Okay,
誕生日は1
and
月
she's using this.
元旦生まれで
Wow, January 1st.
1月1日生まれは、あなたはアレキサンドライトのような人間です。王の名を冠するこの宝石のように、高貴でプライドの高い人物のようです。またこの宝石は赤くも青くもなる珍しい特性があり、
I assume that she's using this to try and get Shogane to, you know, spill the beans as to his birthday.
何か全然当たってないです。
No, I think.
3月3日のひな祭りです。
Oh, 1-1-3-3. What's next? Like 6-6?
その姿は献身、慈愛の象徴でもあり、これからも惜しまぬ愛を注ぎ続ければ願いは叶います。ですって。献身、慈愛？知らない人ですね。強欲と自己愛の間違い。
僕も3月3日ですよ。
What?
なんで怒るんですか？
だって祝ってもらうとき絶対当日
Wow.
所詮占いなんて思わせぶりなことを言って受け手が都合よく解釈するバーナム効果でしかありません。ですが利用させてもらいます。次は会長の番ですね。誕生日を教えてください。
俺はやらん。占いなんて思わせぶりなことを言って受け手が都合よく解釈するバーナム効果でしかないだろう。
いえ、そんなことはないですよ。例えば風水は建築学や統計の要素が盛り込まれ
Oh.
もうこれは誕生日占い。誕生日はただ純粋に生まれた日付だ。それに意味なんてあるかよ。
いいえ、年に一度の大切な日ですよ。
篠宮だけには一度俺の誕生日を伝えたことがあるんだがな。記憶力のある篠宮が忘れる程度のものだろう。
覚えてますよ。誕生日は9月9日の乙女座。血液型は O で出生。
Oh yeah, it is 9-9.
そう言わずに。これ人格診断だけじゃなくて相性占いもできるんですよ。一緒にやりましょうよ。
絶対にやらない。
なんなんですか。人がノブレス・オブリージュの精神で会長の誕生日を祝ってあげようって言うのに、どうせ会長は私の誕生日も祝ってくれるつもりもないのでしょう。
違う。白金とて朝の星座占いを見るように見るし、かぐやの誕生日もスケジュール帳にマークしてある。さらに言えば白金はそのサイトをすでにチェック済み。自分の人格も診断したし、
That's bad.
よかった。この結果を篠宮に見せたくないがために、白金は自分の誕生日を固くなに言わない。だが、そんな事情が伝わるはずもない。
Ah, these two.
ないもんだな。
どういうこと？会長は私に何か伝えようとしてる？え？もしかして会長は私だけに誕生日を祝ってほしい？
Oh man.
不機嫌でつっけんどんなのも私が誕生日を忘れてると思っているから？
違う。
そういうことなら仕方ないですね。
Oh, so it's okay. That's the next one. All right. Okay, it seems that the ending song is being made by the same person. Ooh. Actually, it's most possible that this is going to be the opening next episode. Lots of anime like to do this type of stuff. Yep, it's an opening theme. Just saw it. Alright, that's it. See you guys. And there we have it, a great kickoff to the second season of Kaguya-sama. Before we talk about anything else, I like to quickly give a correction as to the sort of second chapter that this episode contained. The one where they were talking about reaching Nirvana and whatnot. I only briefly glanced at the title and I thought it said becoming God, but it actually the words used there is kamiteru, which is actually honestly kind of a hard word to translate. I think most translations would actually translate that as getting into the zone or really feeling it, getting into the groove, that sort of translation. So I guess reaching Nirvana maybe kind of makes sense here, although I don't think that's very adequately translated as well. It's more of a slang sort of Japanese language, so it's harder to translate there. But indeed, I guess them deciding, within the context of the episode, I think choosing to say reach Nirvana might just work, right? So that was a quick correction on my part. And, well, what can I say, right? We got our usual cast out here doing their usual things. I gotta say, I'm super happy that they actually kicked off the second season with Hayasaka. I love that girl. And that little mini episode there was really way too short. I really like watching her switch between her different personalities, and basically feeling hopeless at at Kaguya's predicament, right? Yeah, so 2 thumbs up for me on that part, and we still got our usual student council members. Not really much to say there. I honestly feel that it's harder and harder for Kaguya and Shogane to sort of hide their intentions from each other. I think they're being more and more blatantly obvious of their affections. But then again, we are barely past the 50 chapter mark within the anime adaptation right now, right? Whereas the actual manga is still going on. I think it's near 200 chapters already. Is it something like 180 or something like that? So we are still far away from any sort of conclusion to this work. So I guess it's just a case where everybody is just gonna have to play along to these two being oblivious to each other's feelings, right? Now, I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't adapt the school elective chapter, considering that it would make total sense to adapt that chapter, especially considering that we just passed we ended season 1 with them watching fireworks, the end of summer vacation, so school starts again. Having the school elective episode would make total sense and would continue directly on from the from the first season, right? As it turns out, the way that they did it, they actually went. So the Hayasaka little episode there was actually from a chapter way before the events that happened during summer vacation and all that. I think they even made a mention of that in the anime as well. They made a disclaimer there. So they're adapting it kind of out of order. It doesn't really change much, although. One thing that I did change is I do know why they did not choose to adapt the school elective chapter, because in order for the jokes in that chapter to work, they needed to have a prerequisite chapter first, which deals with Shiogane singing, right? I went ahead and checked, and apparently they are going to be adapting that chapter in this season. So I guess in a sense that I can say that this season is not 100% blind, because they adapted things out of order, so I have seen some of it. But hopefully it's still going to be great and full of fun. Let's see, what else now? As for the trivia for this episode, let's see. I talked about the Japanese being big on blood types and horoscopes already, I believe, back in season 1, so I'm not going to go too far into there. I think a lot of Westerners will be surprised when they see how big an impact that blood type and horoscopes can play in Japanese culture, blood types in particular. It's so well researched that there's even some evidence that some companies actually hire people based on this. Yeah, that's another thing. One thing that I like to mention here that I guess I also made a kind of mistake talking about in the episode. So if we go back to the part where Fujiwara was making this game, a tabletop game, and asking the student council to play along. So the game there is really sort of a play on a very popular board game in Japan called a Jinsei game, which means the game of life. And to my surprise, I actually quickly checked this up. So it actually was a American board game first, but later it was brought to Japan, and since then it became super popular there. Whereas back in the States, I don't think, when I was in the States, I don't think anybody played that. I have no recollection of playing that with any of my friends during my childhood or whatnot. I think the best and most well-known tabletop game for families, in particular in America, would probably be Monopoly. Whereas in Japan, it's actually this Jinsei game, which features something, exactly as Fujiwara was showing it. So it's a game where you have to go through all the stages of your life and then reach the end there. And it's basically sort of a simulation of your life, if you will. So just a fun little fact. It's basically Japanese. It's basically the equivalent of Monopoly in Japan. If you consider, having fun with friends and family, and something that you play in your childhood and growing up, and so on and so forth, right? So I guess that is the little bit of trivia for this episode. Anyways, there we go. A great start to the season, and hopefully we'll be getting more and more of the good stuff in the future. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next week as well. Until then, bye-bye.